David Andrew Weeb, founder of Spark Infinity niche-based Facebook group. David, what is going on in Spark Infinity?
Spark Infinity has been growing pretty rapidly since January. We started with literally 4 or 5 members, now to well over 1,400 people, serving creatives and creators, poets, artists, visual artists, musicians, actors, actresses.
What should members of Spark Infinity be prepared for? What are the live shows about?
We like to interview people and get a sense of who they are, the kind of things they do, highlight them, and especially their amazingness, their personality, their superpowers, whatever makes them great. That's what we like to highlight in those conversations.
So how could members of Spark Infinity also benefit from Bump Global?
For one thing, there are so many amazing heart-centered founders of various niche-based Facebook groups that if you wanted to be interviewed, you could just put yourself in the middle of the storm and find all kinds of groups to be featured in and interviewed in all day long. And the other thing is, if they have the desire and the work ethic to build their own niche-based Facebook group and blow it up, that's another opportunity that's waiting for them. And I only see things growing from there.
Spark Infinity, how are you doing? We got a spontaneous live stream, and by that I mean this was scheduled probably no more than 2.5 hours ago with my friend Maria Foster Luengo, who's got something special to share with you. But first of all, Maria, how you doing?
I am doing really well. How are you, David Andrew?
I'm always good. Thank you for asking. As you might recall, Maria was into musical theater, still is, I guess. And she's the kind of person that if you're around her long enough, she'll break out into song for you. Like that'll happen. But today we wanted to talk about a special summit that she's been organizing for September. And we talked previously about the education system and some of the needed changes in there. And that's what this really ties in with. So let's talk about your Listen, Learn, Lead Parent Teacher Summit, Maria.
Yeah, so I thank you so much for the opportunity to allow me this platform to talk about something that I'm passionate about. And what your listeners may not know is that for over 30 years, I have been involved in the public education system. I have seen it all. I have done it all. I started off as a high school teacher. I'm now working as an elementary school counselor, and I am super committed to changing the system from the inside out. We've been running a public education system here in Canada for over 100 years, and that whole system needs to be thrown out, and we need to create from a brand new framework, a new way of raising and teaching our kids. So one day I was asked by somebody, if you could do anything in education, what would that be? And I said, you know what? I'd really want to make a difference for kids. And how I would want to make a difference for kids is by teaching parents and caregivers and school staff on how to develop and foster powerful relationships to make a difference for the kids that we raise and teach. And so what came out of that was the Listen, Learn, and Lead Parent Educator Summit, which is on Saturday, September the 13th from 9 a.m. PST to 12 p.m. PST. And that is actually happening. And we're here to promote the summit and invite all of your listeners to think about any parents that they know, any people that they know who work in schools that they would like to invite to the summit. And at the end of this conversation, I'm going to be offering your audience a limited time offer for a 50% off code to join us at the summit on Saturday, September the 13th.
Awesome. And who is this virtual summit for? Is it primarily parents and teachers, or is there a specific, because I know in our group we've got people from all kinds of creeds, beliefs, faiths. Who is this event for?
You know, this event is for anybody who is interested in public education. I can see parents joining this conversation, caregivers joining this conversation. I can see principals, vice principals, education assistants, teachers, anybody who works in school. I have a number of people in early childhood education who are also coming. I've got some friends of mine who are running literacy programs where they bring the joy of reading back to kids K to 12. They're also coming to the summit. So this is really an incredible summit with a diverse group of people who are going to enter into a similar conversation about how to bridge the classroom and the home with love, intention, and purpose. Because let's be honest, we all want what's the best for our kids, but somewhere between the classroom and the kitchen table, between permission slips and progress reports, something actually gets lost in our conversations. And so it's really important that we're able to, um, you know, have these conversations to make a difference for kids. Because honestly, what I see happening in schools is I see that there's a lack of communication between parents and schools. I see that there's some mistrust, some miscommunications that happen. And I'm really committed that at the beginning of the year, which is September the 13th, that we actually set up our parents and school staff powerfully so that they know how to create these relationships. B, they're going to be hearing from an expert in how to create these relationships. Her name is Leah Milan. She runs a company called High Five Thrive, and she's an expert in education programs for parents. Our second amazing speaker is Dr. Anane Olantuji, and he's going to be sharing a brand new framework of how to raise kids using FACES: fun, affirmation, challenges, excitement, and success. And that's really going to turn the tables on how parents and teachers can work together to raise our kids. And our third amazing speaker is Nat Mayot. She is an expert in public speaking, and she's going to be offering us a toolkit on how parents can communicate with the school staff in regards to teaching and raising our kids. So I am absolutely super excited about this. Dr. Nale Olatuji has also written a book called Don't Let School Get in the Way of Public Education. And I think it's about time that we revamp our current public school system and make it incredibly effective and child centered and make a difference for the kids out there. So, this is the first time I've heard of people say, oh my gosh, you're bringing parents and school staff into the same conversation. Usually they're in separate conversations. And it's bold, it's intentional. We are out to have 100 or more parents or school staff attend this summit. Our mission is simple but transformative: to bridge the gap between home and school, to break down the barriers with honesty and empathy, to build trust, and with it, a better future for every kid and young person that we serve.
That's fantastic. And I think you really covered it all off, all the great stuff that's coming up and planned for this event. There's the link, there's the website where you can go to register Listen, Learn, Lead Parent Teacher Summit. And the URL, although slightly cumbersome, should be manageable. It is in the chat or the links in the comments as well. listenlearnlead.ineedcoaching.com is where you can find that registration page. Maria, does that about cover what you wanted to talk
Yeah,
about?
absolutely. When you go to the registration page, there's an about section so you can learn more about the summit. There's an agenda so you can see how those 3 hours are broken down. It'll be a speaker followed by a breakout room where we're going to be in these small, intimate settings where we're going to be discussing questions based on what the speaker just spoke about so we can get a real in-depth conversation. We can get real takeaways and real strategies on how to support the kids we raise and teach. You'll also see a bio for all of the speakers if you'd like to get to know them more. And I got to say, this is not just going to be a one-off, we're going to do this summit. This will be an annual event, and I would love everybody to be participant in our inaugural event. And I invite you all out there who are interested in public education. This is open to anybody in the world. It is a virtual online event. I will be emceeing the event, and it is going to be powerful. It is going to be fun, and it is going to be absolutely engaging.
That's awesome. And I'm just going to share this real quick too, because this is a cool little social media poster, shall we say, that highlights the speakers. There you go. So 3 fantastic speakers. There's the date and time. You can also go, if this is easier for everyone, phoenixinspiredcoaching.com. And there is a link from the top of the page there to go and register for this event. And there you have
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, David. I encourage everybody to come along and be part of a conversation where we get to reimagine the future of public education.
And by the way, I've been supporting this project all along. In fact, I've been supporting Maria for a lot longer than that, helping get Phoenix Inspired Coaching set up and running. And so this is a crystallization of that vision, and I'm excited to see what's going to come of it.
Yeah. So this was a dream that I have. And I acknowledge you for, you know, being with me through this journey. It's just been so wonderful. And these aren't sad tears, these are happy tears. It is so incredible to have this dream where I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I thought, I know how I can make a difference in the world. It's by bringing parents and school staff into the same conversation so that the kids are successful. We know from the statistics that when there is trust and intention with our relationships with parents in homes, that the kids are successful. And when that trust isn't there, and when there's a low amount of participation in school by the parents, the kids don't do as well. And so I'm really out to create powerful partnerships. And I want this for all kids. I want this for all parents. And I want this for anybody who works in a school. Working in silos doesn't work. We're going to come together. We are the village that is going to raise and teach our children. And we are all part of the same village.
All right. Spark Infinity. Do you know a parent? Do you know teachers? It's time to invite them and have them be there in this unique forum where parents and teachers get to connect over one of those greater issues of education, which we all know could be a lot better, at least in my opinion, and in our opinion, I'll say.
And as an expression of my gratitude for interviewing me today and for all of the support that you've given me over the years, not just months, we're offering your audience a 50% off code that they can use when they register. The code is capital LLLSUMMIT 50. When you go to the registration site, you punch in the code and you will get 50% off of the registration fee. The conference itself costs $20, so it'll be $10 or less to register with the 50% off code. And that is less than buying 2 coffees. So, I have it that we wanted to remove any barriers in regards to finances for people. And we wanted to make this super, super accessible to everybody.
Yeah, and all the information should be in that ticker tape below. So go to that link. There's your code to get 50% off. Registered now. Do it while you're watching, because otherwise you might forget and you don't want to miss out on this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria, and thanks, Spark Infinity. I'll see you tomorrow for show and tell, so come prepared to share your work, Spark Infinity. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.